pivoting a little bit to the debate tonight, CBS has announced that they're not going to have their moderators actually do any fact checking. Now, just contemplate this for a moment. J.D. Vance went on national television and said, like, look, if we got to tell stories that aren't true to get the media to pay attention, we'll do it. And we've seen him over and over again, refer to legal Haitian immigrants as being illegal. We've heard him refer to them, unknown constituents telling him real firsthand reports of them eating cats and dogs. He's a liar. Donald Trump is a liar. It is a problem where you are essentially having a debate where you're not going to correct the most basic of lies, which, frankly, the audience tuning in for this debate, who are the most relevant, probably because they don't follow the news that much, wouldn't be able to tell, and it's gonna have real impact on the debate. But here's just a perfect example of the way that they operate. It's fascinating. If it wasn't, or I should say, it would be fascinating if it wasn't so terrifying. There is nothing that they won't just lie about, and the reason is because they can do it and not have any implications. Here's Trump. He's in Valdosta, Georgia. This is yesterday, Monday, press conference, prepared words.
We do need some help from the federal government. They have to get together, ideally with the governor. That governor needs to, he's been trying to get them, and I'm sure they're going to come through. But he's been calling the president, hasn't been able to get him. But they'll come through, I'm sure. And Georgia, North.
Okay, so there he is. He's being a real adult about it. Meanwhile, on that same day, the actual governor apparently has a different story.
On that, and just wanted to make sure this community knew that. I spoke to President Biden last night about 5 o'clock. Just about the storm, about the devastation we've seen.
Pause it for 1 second. So that, just for those of you who are following along at home, that would mean that at least 12 to 15 hours before Donald Trump said the governor hasn't been able to reach the president, the governor, according to him, spoke to the president. So Trump is just lying, like just full on, the whole cloth, make it up.
Well, you say he's lying, but I'm not exactly sure. So let me take out my phone to take a photo of the screen so that I can get the QR code that's going to tell me.
Exactly. Real time. Except for we don't have the ability to pause. So you check your QR code and go, they've got a team of 20 people who are going to be pumping out whether or not the president lied. Now, of course, you've missed half the debate at this point.
Right. You can't even use QR codes for your menu. I get annoyed by that. I'm going to need that for my journalism.
Is ABC selling ads? Like, what's their job? Or CBS?
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind there is somebody on the online marketing going, this is going to be amazing. We're going to be able to capture a bunch of emails from this.
Man, I love for-profit.
I mean, honestly, like this is like a stunt that we would do. We're going to put our QR code.
Yes.
We put our QR code all over the place and fact check in real time. All right, but just go back here. Let's listen to Brian Kemp. I don't know if Brian Kemp did this afterwards. Do we know what the timing was? Because he maybe made sure that he said this so that people would know that Trump was lying, or maybe not. Maybe he said it before Trump said it, which would make it a double lie by Trump.
We'll be putting some information out on that, and just wanted to make sure this community knew that. I spoke to President Biden last night about 5 o'clock. Just about the storm, about the devastation we've seen in our state. Vice President Harris and I have been playing phone tag. I know that former President Trump will be in Valdosta today getting a briefing from our folks, but also hearing from the locals in regard
Pause
to
it for 1
storm
second.
response.
So in other words, Trump said his lie literally after this press conference. Yep. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't have an operation that says, like, here's the readout from what Kemp said at the press conference, because these are facts you might need to know. I don't need that. I could just completely freelance it. But there was no indication that Kemp hadn't spoken to Biden. Go ahead.
That former President Trump will be in Valdosta today getting a briefing from our folks, but also hearing from the locals in regards to storm response. I know Senator Warnock is here today. Senator Ossoff was in Valdosta on Saturday when we were there. Obviously, we've been in communications with Congressman Rick Allen, and Congressman Austin Scott was with us yesterday. Just know that we will work in a bipartisan way on disaster relief in this state with our federal, state, and local partners. We have submitted our expedited emergency declaration. This is something that's very rare, but this will help us, and I feel certain it'll be approved by the president and our federal partners.
Okay, I mean, we get the idea. They're getting all the help that they can from the federal government. The fact of the matter is that there's, we do not live in a society that is prepared to be able to deal with repeated once-in-a-century storms that seem to happen at least once or twice a year now. That's just the bottom line.
Do you remember when Chris Christie got all that crap because he embraced Obama after Obama provided relief for Hurricane Sandy? It's just interesting because I feel like Trump still is in that mindset. Like he's trying to, or I don't know, like Kemp is actually being pragmatic to a certain degree. I just don't know if the appetite for like the partisanship as it relates to disasters is still there in this year.
I think it definitely is.
Okay.
I think it just happens that in Georgia, it's not the same dynamic as any other place. I mean, this is the one place where Trump, all he needed was 11,000 votes, and these stingy asses in Georgia wouldn't give it to him. Also, I would say that there's actually like, there's data that shows.
Look at your screen.
What?
Oh.
What's happening?
I put the QR code right over.
Oh, you did? Yeah. There's data that shows, I didn't see that. There's data that shows that actually it can help challengers when there is a natural disaster. And so for them, there's value. There's a reason why Trump is going there. And it's not because he wants to hand out paper towels. It's because he wants to nationalize the disaster because it actually, there's data that shows that there is a marginal difference in voting patterns in the wake of something like that.
But that's what concerns me a little bit. I know that Biden's not going there because the governors are saying we have limited resources, but I don't like the idea of Harris not going to Georgia or North Carolina in the next few days.
It does seem as if Biden had said after that initial statement from Roy Cooper, the North Carolina governor, that he will do some sort of survey in the coming days of the
Biden.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I don't care about him anymore. I want Harris to go there and show
I don't know about
up.
Harris, but Biden said that just in response to the lie about how he had not spoken to some of these governors. He said he's going to do a survey of the damage at some point.
Yeah, they released a 30-second clip with 4 cuts in it where he's like trying to explain that, and it's like, Jesus, a cadaver.
But that's what we're going to be looking at tonight for the debate. So apparently CBS is going to, the debate starts at 9 p.m. CBS is the lead broadcaster, I guess. The QR code to fact check is only going to be available on the CBS feed. If you're watching the debate on any other channel, if you're watching the debate on any, and look, if you want to find out if what I'm saying is true, just use your phone on that QR code, and that will right here. You can verify what I'm saying.
The future of broadcasting.
Where does that QR code take you?
That's join the majority report.
There you go. All right, beautiful. That's where you get truth. You miss half the debate while you're signing up.
We can't convey truth using this stupid audio-visual medium. You need to go to our print forum where we'll serve you some more ads on there.
Yeah.
This is the way that we're going to be dealing with fact-checking us in the future. We will have a QR code. That QR code will take you to a site where you will get an address. You put a self-addressed envelope into a full-size envelope, mail it to us, we will answer your question and send it back to you within a couple of days. That's the way that we're going to be doing fact checking.
I like how fact checking is like how you win the amazing race as well.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
We need to make it as difficult as possible.
Well, like Matt says, we can't convey facts.
It's a scavenger hunt for facts.
We can't do it this way. But that's going to be the debate tonight. They are not going to mute the microphones. And I honestly think like this could be a problem for Walz.
I do
because if you're Walz, you have to make a decision going in. Are we going to address all the lies? Or are we just going to try and present a, some type of like programmatic vision of what we're going to do, in the presidency? Speaking about, and now the other thing I think, like the other tact you could take is your first, your first answer is, it's a shame that we're not having moderators who are going to fact check. I understand there's a QR code, and maybe that's good for, all his tech brothers, who can fact check him. But the fact of the matter, he's going to be lying all night, and I'm not going to be able to, address each one because I won't be able to, tell a positive vision. So I'm going to mention that he's lying, and I'm going to encourage you to check the QR codes, but you'll miss part of the debate. And just, lay it out there and go, where I'm from, and then just get all folksy. I don't know.
Go on offense. Accuse him of Project 25. Accuse him of things beyond the reality so that he has to defend it would be my advice.
I like that better than complaining about the format probably is not the best look to introduce Walz to the country in the debate. Roll with it.
That's the thing. I don't know. I don't know how you deal with it.
I don't know either, but we were concerned before the last debate and Harris destroyed him, but this is a little different because Vance is not going to take the bait in the same way Trump was so easily baited. And two, Vance is an extremist, but he's also a lawyer, and so he has experience arguing and filibustering too. He's slimier and could maybe wiggle out of things and not just fall into traps like Trump did. And this is Walz's he's kind of more new to this. He hasn't been doing also the same national media that JD Vance has been in terms of defending his stances.
To be fair,
stuff.
JD Vance does a Sunday show. That's as harsh as it gets. The rest of the answers, the questions he's answered, has been with literally a chorus of Trump fans behind him booing whenever he got a question he didn't want.
Yeah, he won't have the MAGA gang with him this time. So we'll see. I mean, the facts and reality are on our side, so that does benefit us to a degree and Walz to a degree.
So we will start our coverage probably around 9:15 p.m. Eastern tonight. And you can check that out on this channel. As far as I know, CBS is not going to bump us. Maybe if we have a massive QR code over the whole thing. I guess that, we should be playing with QR codes. We should have 7 QR codes.
It's the future. I mean, look how great the broadcast is.
Well, that's one way of doing it. But I also think that if you had a QR code down here in the corner, one over here, one over here, one up here, over here, so 4 in each box, small QR codes. We have 8 QR codes on screen at all times, plus a scroll, like a crawl that goes across too. It's so amazing. Hey folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.